Hey everybody. So I'm sitting up here moisturizing my dry scalp. You'll see my locks. I got my hair done. I think it was last week? I think it was last week because this week or the week before. So this week will be going on 2 weeks, and I think next week I go get my hair washed again. So Wednesday will be 2 weeks. And this is what I'm looking like. I have not been working out because I had surgery 3 weeks ago today, and I got one more week, and then I could go back to working out. So, if this is how my hair looks in 2 weeks, y'all can only imagine what it looks like when I'm working out. And plus, on top of that, I don't allow her to use a whole lot of. She don't use a whole lot of gel, anyways. But because of my scalp issues, I told her, especially in the front, do not use just use a tiny bit. So I want to say after about day 2 and me putting on my dread sock, this is what my edges look like. And I've never been one to lay down my edges anyway, but um yeah, I think I'm 6 months 6.5 months now locked. This is what my locks look like. This one still has a swirly on the end or whatever, but I'm moisturizing my dry scalp. This is my mix: aloe vera juice, and some peppermint essential oil, eucalyptus, and blue caramel essential oil. I can't put oil on my scalp because it'll cause my scalp to flake up even more than what it is. And so that's the mixture that I use to moisturize my scalp. But anywho, my next video, I did say I wanted to do a pro and a con to two-strand twist, because I did start my locks off with two-strand twist. Um, let's see the pros to two-strand twist. I started with two-strand twists because she said my hair was long, and I don't think she was experienced in doing comb coils. My braces be getting caught in my hair. She didn't have experience with doing comb coils on long hair. So if I wanted her to do my hair, kind of like didn't have a choice but to start off with two-strand twist. But I'm glad I did start off with two-strand twist, because that was one of the things that was bothering me. Before I started, most people start off with comb coils. Most when you go to locticians or people that do locks, they'll start off with comb coils. And I've never had no comb coils in my hair. Now, y'all know, if y'all follow me for any amount of time on YouTube, that's all I wore was two-strand twists. Um, so I was kind of like, what are these comb coils gonna look like in my head? And you can't style the comb coils because you just don't want to mess up your locks. I'm trying to style them. I'm picking flakes out of my hair. I hate when my scalp is acting up. But you don't want to be trying to. You can't style the coils. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess up your locks right out the gate with trying to style them, and and all of that. So it's like, I don't know how that's gonna work out. But when she told me she start with two-strand twists on long hair, I was like, now that's more my style, because that's all I wore was two-strand twists, and that's all I mostly did to my hair besides ponytails and stuff. So that was right up my alley. So that was a plus for me, because I had something that my hair was started in a way that how I always do my hair anyway. So that was a plus. Um, Another plus is that, again, with two strand twists, you could kind of do more with them, um, in my opinion, when you're first starting out than with comb coils. I also think with comb coils, you run the risk of them, especially if you have soft hair like mine's and curlier hair, you run the risk of them just washing out. Whereas with two strand twists, for me anyways, the only ones that came out was a couple, like maybe two in the front, because they was so small. If you go to my Instagram page and go back to my starter, I'm not sure if it shows it, but when I tell you, I think one of them was just like she just did a coil, so that was nothing. I knew that probably was going to be combined, and I think it was like these up here that was so tiny. But just like two or three in the front came out, but the rest of them, they didn't unravel at all. At all. I had those were the only ones that I had unravel, was the ones in the front, because my hair is um really more so straight, wavy, not much of a curl. It's really, 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 really loose in the front. But yeah, those were the only ones that came loose. And like I said, with that's what I'm used to. So I think with two strand twists, you kind of have a little bit more freedom than with them comb coils. You know, I heard they flatten out and you can't really do much with them except for just wear them however they were done. I do see some people styling their locks, but I wouldn't suggest that you style starter locks, because they can mess up, create holes, don't form correctly, and stuff like that. So they, suggest that you not style starter locks, especially if you start off with coils. You want them to kind of keep its form. So that's another pro, is that you could do a little bit more. If you want to put them up in a ponytail, with coils. I don't think I wouldn't do that with fresh starter lock coils. Um, yeah, they don't unravel. I feel like it's easily, especially if you have long hair. And I also feel like too, with the two strand twist, they lock a lot faster, because when you twist your hair and you leave them in or you braid your hair, do your hair, and you leave them braids and stuff in for a long time, and you go to take that mess out and your hair done started locking, because you ain't done nothing to it in a month, or whatever. um, so like I said, I think they have more staying power. um, than comb coils. I think you'll lock a little bit faster with two strand twists, in my opinion. Let's see. The cons to two strand twists. They do not form um, they do not form congruent all the way through with two strand twists. Mine's didn't anyway. And from other people that I watch who done two strand twists, and who have similar hair texture to mine, we all look the same. Um, I want to say at like when I went for like three, at like 2 months, 2.5, 3 months. I want to say 3 months. I started getting these bulbs like in different spots. Let me see if I can find one. See this one right here? How it's bunched up, but as every time I washed, they more and more was getting bunched up like this, and it was much worse. Then this, I would have a big bulb right here, then another one right here. And I was like, see, like this one, you see a bulb right here, then I got one right here. Um, Here go another one. You see how it bunched up? It's coming together more, but if you can imagine, my locks wasn't as firm as they were now at 2.5, 3 months. So I had all of these big bulbs in different places. It would be normal, then another big bulb, and it was just like, what? Here's another one that you can see where it bunch up in different places. So with two strand twists, the hair bunches up. The as you wash them, um, yeah, the twist starts to bunch up, so they're not as congruent all the way down a as it would if you did a comb coil. With comb coils, they're more congruent all the way down. Um, So that was to me one of the cons. I did not like that bunching up, and I didn't know if that was normal, if something was going on, if I was gonna have to comb my locks out and start over again. But I texted a few girls who started out with two strand twists as well, and they said that was normal. Um, the locks will do that. So I was like, okay, so I kind of chilled out. And then Damian Walters, which I love watching him and taking his advice. He was like, because my hair is soft, um, that I would need to palm roll all the way to the end, whereas most people, they only palm roll um, maybe like part of the way down to maybe like right here, the roots, then part of the way down. And then they'll clip to where they're finished, stop the palm rolling. So he was saying for me, since my hair is so soft, um, and it was bunching up like that. I mean, it literally, all of them, a lot of them, every time I washed, excuse me, was bunching up like that. And they were much worse back then. But he was like, you would need to palm roll all the way down. And so I want to say from when I went back for my 3 month, I had her palm roll all the way down. And then when I went to him at 4 months, he palm rolled me all the way down, and then he put my hair into a style. And he said normally he don't suggest styles, but I work out and I sweat really badly in my hair. And he was like, in my case, he said he would suggest to get styles. And so when he styled my hair, he gave me two lobster rolls or whatever you call them things with it out, the hair out in the back. But when I took it down after 2 weeks, I saw how much tighter my hair had locked. And my friends at church said the same thing, like your hair looks much tighter. And so I saw what he was saying. So it kind of helped um, with all of those bulbs and bunching and stuff. It did really help. So I think I palm rolled all the way down my 3rd month, 4th month, and 5th month. No, I palm rolled just the 3rd and 4th month. In the 5th month, she was like, "It looks like your hair is coming together more, so we can just go back to only palm rolling part of the way." So I don't get palm rolled all the way down anymore. So that's one of the cons for two strand twists is that it bunch up. Two, with two strand twists, again looking at other girls with similar texture to my hair, you see, and even Diva Deb, she was like, TT, why your ends look like that? And I said, it's the texture of my hair and the way I started, where and not all people who started with two strand twists have these bubs. I think it's the texture of the hair, because it's two other girls who look like they have similar texture, who ends look just like this. It's like big bulbs on the ends. Um, see, You have these big bulbs on the ends of your hair, on my hair. See the big bulbs? Some are bigger than others, but again, it's not going to be congruent all the way down. You're going to have these big looking bulbs on the ends of your hair. Um, yeah, see that? So that's another, I don't know if it's a pro or a con. It doesn't bother me. But for some people who do their locks, they may look at their locks and be like, what the heck is going on? Or the ends not really sealing. Like I say, you walking around with these big bulbs on, but it doesn't bother me. I actually liked wanted to keep my curly ends because I just think it gave it character. But even if I still have these big bulbs on the ends, and that's just how my hair is, it doesn't bother me. That's just how my hair is. Everybody locks are different. Um, Another one is I didn't think I had major shrinkage when I was a loose natural, but I thought with me starting with two strand twists and everything, I wasn't going to get much shrinkage, but my locks shrank up so much. Like I want to say I was probably about this much from waist length because I was trimming my hair, preparing for my locks, just getting my hair healthy, trimming my ends, getting rid of all of them split ends because I wasn't doing nothing for my with my hair, and so I was getting my hair healthy and preparing to lock my hair, and so I want to say for about 3 months prior to me locking, I was just trimming my ends every time I cut, but I was about this much from waist length. Do this look like I had waist length here? My locks, when she first started me, of course, my twists were long, but it seemed like as I kept, I go get my hair washed and retwisted every 3 weeks. I never wash and not retwist because I can't do that yet. My locks are not mature enough, and it would look a hot mess, and my hair is too soft for that. But it seemed like every time I went for a wash, they was just like shrinking up more and more. Like as you see, this do not look like somebody with who had almost waist length hair down their back. Like my locks shrunk so much. I'm not sure. I don't even know if they're dropping yet, but that's what she told me in the beginning was that they're gonna shrink up and then drop, I guess, as they mature. So yeah, so I'm just waiting to see when they are going to drop because they sure enough are shrinking for sure. They have shrunk, not shrinking. I don't know if they're going to shrink anymore, but um, my hair always get caught on my bracelets. But yeah, my hair has shrunk for sure, for sure, for sure. And so this is it. This is my lock. So I would say that's the pros and the cons. So again, just I don't want to. This is going on 20 minutes. I just want just research, and what you think you're going to feel comfortable with, especially for the first couple of months, because again, how your locks start off is not how they're going to look as they mature. And some people say ugly stage. I don't feel like I went through the ugly stage. I love my locks. The only thing that I was really freaking out about again was the bunching up. It was much worse than what y'all see here. I mean, they was really bad. And again, my hair wasn't as mature and locked, so you got all of these bunches all over your head, and they every time I watched it was getting worse and worse. So that was the only thing really that I didn't like, but once I knew it was normal, it didn't bother me. And of course the frizz, you're not going to be able to prevent that except for maybe the first couple of days after you retwist. So It is what it is. It's a journey. You just got to go along for the ride. Peace.